Thank you for joining Hope Clinton this Maundy Thursday from my home office. It's wonderful to have you here. You might have been wondering what Maundy Thursday means and what it is. Well, Maundy Thursday has many names throughout history. It's known as, you ready for this? Holy Thursday, Covenant Thursday, Great and Holy Thursday, Sheer Thursday, and Thursday of Mysteries. Who knew, right? It is the Christian holy day, falling on the Thursday before Easter, which is Sunday. And it remembers the washing of feet and the Last Supper of Jesus with his friends, the apostles, as described in the New Testament documents called the Gospels. It is the 5th day of the Holy Week, and it's preceded by Holy Wednesday, known as Spy Wednesday, and followed by Good Friday. Maundy, that word, it comes from the Latin word, meaning commandment, reflecting Jesus' commandment. I give you a new one, a new commandment. That new commandment is just as I have loved you. Here we go, love one another. Notice it doesn't say shoot one another, harm one another, utter mean things against one another, but love one another. In the New Testament, there's a book called Romans. And in the 12th chapter, it says this: if your enemies are hungry, feed them. If your enemies are thirsty, give them something to drink. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Good. If this Maundy Thursday wasn't during COVID-19, I'd love nothing more than to be with all of you, washing your feet this night and sharing in a meal that Jesus did with his followers. But since I can't do that, I'm opening worship with this wonderful video. Enjoy.
They call me a widow. They call me a prisoner. But you love what is ruined, and you choose what is broken. You remember the forgotten. Call me a poor man, they call me an orphan, they call me a prostitute. But I hear you cry out, daughter, I hear you cry, beloved, I hear you cry for me all the time. And you stand there like fire, you restore me like water. I just don't understand this kind of love. You hold out your hammer and you tell me you're a painter, and I am a bleeding watercolor that will still be beautiful when it dries. Beautiful when it dries. When I'm done, and it's done like a masterpiece from a master's hand. When it's done, when you're done with me, be beautiful, beautiful. Your hands have stopped working, hands have left pieces of canvas on the floor. Oh, there's a stone on the floor. Oh, you stop your swinging and your world. is all that's left, all that's left.
Well, tonight we can't really wash one another's feet. Well, I guess we could if we're with other people, but every Maundy Thursday we've been washing feet in the community of faiths. But since we can't exactly do that easily, I had another idea. What if we used water, as Jesus did, to cleanse ourselves and our hands? If we are fortunate enough to sit with others tonight, well, we could spend time washing our hands of those we are with, or simply by ourselves. It is in the washing of our own hands or those who are surrounding us this night, in the spirit of love, that we prepare one another to enter into the service of a God who came among us as a servant, the ultimate servant, and to love and serve one another as Christ loves and serves us unconditionally. You know, after some thought and reflection on the scripture for tonight, I decided that it was time to think about the fact that when Jesus washed a part of others, in this case his friends, it was an act of service and care through washing their feet, a very vulnerable event. And maybe this washing of others' hands and feet, well, maybe it doesn't have the same meaning for those of us here tonight or today. In fact, I have discovered and found that after 34 years of ordained ministry, hard to believe, that foot washing is overshadowed by worshipers' own anxiety about their feet. Did they have their nails done? Are they clean enough? Whatever. And so how fortunate we are tonight that during COVID-19 we're called to do worship differently on Maundy Thursday by washing our hands. I have found myself wondering how we can best express the servant ministry of Jesus serving others in our own world, in our own context, in our own homes and neighborhoods. How can washing our own hands and others' hands connect the ancient practice with the here and now, within our own lives and situations and contexts? So I'm thinking it's time for a hand washing. On Maundy Thursday tonight, we remember that when Jesus offered the humblest of gestures of welcome to his friends. Well, tonight we are no longer observers, but participants in this washing, cleansing, of healing through water, just like our baptism. You know, I've thought about this for a minute. The disciples are going to stumble here soon as he fills the basin of water. And they do not know what's going to meet them on the road through their faith. And so too for us, we've been through so much this year, haven't we? Through multiple pandemics. And we need healing, we need cleansing, just like those disciples. The events of this night begin the passion of Christ. You know, these waters, well, they're our story too, just like these waters were the story of the disciples. We too are the followers of Jesus. So I invite you to wash your hands as you listen to this passage tonight. So I invite you to get a bowl and water. I'll just wait here. Here's the reading as we cleanse and heal, as Jesus brings us the water, intimately and virtually. I give you a new commandment, that you love one another, just as I have loved you. You also shall love one another. By this act, everyone will know that you are my disciples. If you have love for one another, that's how you'll be known as my disciples. It says this in the Gospel of St. John, the 13th chapter, the 34th verse. Jesus gives this command to you, not just during the Lord's Supper when we had bread and wine in a perfect world, which we don't, but just after the washing, the cleansing of the disciples' feet, and declaring to them that they are to follow this example in serving one another through a very intimate act. You know, for 2,000 years, the community of Christ's followers has remembered this day, these scripture words that you're hearing tonight, this Maundy Thursday. Tonight, my prayer for you is that it is of Jesus' prayer, that you may receive his healing through water, the water of cleansing, baptism, and serving one another. I'd love to be with you in a meal that Jesus shared with his disciples, bread and wine. But we have to be realistic, and we can't during COVID, because we are called, more importantly, to love one another through caring for the safety of one another. Through the waters, these things we come home to through Scripture, things that comfort us. The most important words Jesus leaves us are these words, which are a prayer. Jesus' command is that we love one another in the same way that he loved us. We are called to form radical bonds, to be God's loving presence in a hurting world. I leave you with this prayer tonight.
I know you've watched me out here thrashing around. So many nights I couldn't even make a sound. I catch a glimpse of love, then have to close my eyes. But then you leave behind these tiny specks of light, and in the darkness was where I learned to look for the light. And then when I was thirsty, it just made me want So if I'm being honest, I don't mind the dark. I'd say that's where I've found the biggest pieces of my heart. 'Cause in the dark you just have to feel your way along. But I've always had the hope that I'm being led back home. And in the darkness was where I learned to look for the light. And then when I was thirsty, it just made me want to fight, to have the strength to draw the water back up from the well, to have a story like this that I even want to tell. Let freedom ring, 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 let freedom ring and ring and ring. Let freedom ring and ring and ring. 'Cause in the darkness is where we learn to look for the light. And then when we're thirsty, it just makes us want to fight, to have the strength to draw the water back up from the well, to have a story like this that we even want to tell. We've all got a story like this. Let freedom ring, 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 let freedom ring and ring and ring. I know you've watched me out here thrashing around. Sometimes you just got